Hi, this is Andrew with GeForce UK again, and I'm here with Colin, lead content designer of ArenaNet on Guild Wars 2. And here at EuroGamer Expo, you're letting people play PvP for, I think, the first or second time publicly. You showed it previously in a competitive way at Gamescom, I believe, but today people can go hands-on with it, can't they?
Yeah, the first hour of the show every morning, we're doing a kind of a special PvP demo, so folks can jump in, they can play competitive PvP. Mostly it's media getting in then, but yeah, we're doing a little bit of that every morning, and then we're opening it up so they can play the PvE part of the game the entire rest of the day. We have a couple new areas that we've been showing the last few months, so you can play the Asura and Sawari now. Those are the two new playable races, and you actually get to go to a high-level part of the game if you pick an Asura or a Sawari. You get everything unlocked for that level, and you actually get to play up around level 60, so you can see what the game's like much further into the game. We also have the Char starter area, so you can see kind of the intro experience for a brand new Char in the game.
And I believe I saw some stuff about Golems recently as well, and them coming into the mix. Can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, the Asura love them some Golems. So we've got Golems all over the place running around. Wherever there are Asura, generally there are Golems doing most of the hard labor, and the Asura are relaxing, trying not to do too much work. So whenever you see an Asura, there's usually some Golems wandering around somewhere, carrying something or dropping something or doing any of the real manual labor. We haven't shown the Asura starting experience yet, but when we do show that in the future, you're going to see that area is just littered in Golems. They're everywhere, and they're a big part of the Asura culture. They fight for them, they carry stuff, they help with experiments, sometimes they get experimented on, but the Golems are a big part of what the Asura do and who they are.
And for people who haven't played Guild Wars before, what are the Asura like? I mean, what sort of characteristics do they have?
So the Asura are little people. They are about, they're the shortest race in Guild Wars 2. They're extremely intelligent. In fact, they believe they are smarter than everyone else, and they make sure to remind everyone that as much as they possibly can. They're highly magical. They have extremely good understanding of the magic that's used in Guild Wars 2 and how to kind of piece it all together. They believe in the eternal alchemy, which is sort of like their version of religion, which is that everything has its place and everything has a place in the eternal alchemy, and it's understanding how magic works and threads through that so they can take advantage of it. Their buildings are all giant floating cubes and floating structures that are powered by magic. They have lots of bright lights and energy that's pulsing through everything, and they all have a lot of humor to them, although not intentional by the Asura. Everybody else finds them pretty funny, but the Asura themselves take themselves very seriously, and because of that, they end up actually being pretty hilarious. They have a lot of humor in their animations. When they dodge, they actually flip through the air. When you do anything like their laugh emote, they just roll around on the ground laughing like crazy. They have kind of big ears, and they have large faces. They rarely have hair, and when they do have hair, it's really kind of crazy looking hair. They're little adorable guys and gals, and they add a sense of humor and a sense of kind of fun to the Guild Wars 2 world, and they fit in really well with the other races who tend to be more serious about most things.
And you mentioned a second race before as well. Who are they? What are they like? What do they do?
So the Sawari are the brand new race in Guild Wars 2. The other 4 races that are in Guild Wars 2 were all introduced back in Guild Wars 1, but the Sawari were just born 25 years ago, and they're basically plant people, and they're actually born out of a giant tree. And this tree was planted by a centaur who was seeking peace hundreds of years ago. And at the base of the tree, he wrote his rules. His name was Ventari, and he basically wrote these rules to live by on a tablet. And slowly people came to start living around this tree, and all the people who came to live there were escaping wars in the world, and they were people who wanted to live in peace and live in harmony, and so a bunch of different races ended up living at the base of this tree and following the rules that were written on this tablet. And over the years, the tree continued to grow and grow, and slowly people were born out of the tree. These pods all over the tree started to open up, and the plant people, the Sawari, came out of it. And they all had a dream when they were being born out of this tree and living in the tree, where in the dream, they saw dragons and they saw danger and they experienced things, and they had a voice that talked to them, which was actually the voice of the tree that's going to birth them. And they all share this dream. And as Sawari are born out into the world and they go out in the world and experience things, the things they experience, their memories, are transferred back inside this tree, so the next generation of Sawari remember and learn the things that the Sawari who came before them experienced. And so what we've had now is there's been about 25 years of Sawari being in the world, and their experiences have been added into the tree. So when you create a new Sawari, you actually get to experience the dream as your character is born, and you're actually born out into the world as this full-grown being who has the memories of the stuff of those who came before you. And you have this strong draw and pull to hunt down and fight against the dragons which are destroying the world. And the Sawari tend to live by the rules on this tablet that's at the base of their tree that they can go read. They're very much based in Arthurian legends. It's a big part of their stories. The personal story for the Sawari ties in a lot with Arthurian legends. They talk with a proper English accent. It's not real strong, a light English accent, but that's a big part of their character as well.
And if people want to play the game, can they sign up for the beta? Can they get on that soon? Is there a launch date for the beta?
So when we are going to go into open beta and when we're going to release is basically when the game is ready. Right now, we're in closed alpha. We have said we're going to go into closed beta before the end of this year. And based on the outcome of that closed beta is going to determine our beta schedule for open betas. That will determine when we're going to do those. Then based on the feedback and how the open beta goes, that will determine our release date. So there is no hard date that we've got set. What we're trying to do is build the best game that we possibly can and have it be really, really good. And if we run into issues in any of our testing periods, we want time to actually be able to react to that and go fix something and make it even better for the game to ship. So that's kind of why we say when it's ready, is we just want to get it right.
Now, ArenaNet started basically in your founder's house when you were doing the original Guild Wars. And how many sort of people are you up to now for the big sequel?
Yeah, so the original Guild Wars 1 was born out of an apartment with Jeff and Pat and Mo and Brett and eventually Brandon all doing programming out of, I believe it was Mo's apartment at the time. And it has grown to over 270 people just at ArenaNet alone working on Guild Wars 2. And hundreds more at NCSoft, NC West in Seattle, NC Euro here in Brighton in England. We've got NCSoft staffers all over the place in Korea who are supporting the game. So it is a massive undertaking. The team building this game, it just absolutely dwarfs the size of the team that worked on Guild Wars 1. And as a result, the game is going to be that much more epic. It's going to have that much more content to it. It's going to be that much better of a game because we have so many dedicated people who are extremely talented working on this project.
And that's a pretty big investment of all those people. And unlike other MMOs, you're not charging a subscription and you're not free to play, but you're charging just for the boxed copy. Yeah. You expect you can still make a profit out of that despite the huge costs involved.
Absolutely, yeah. We did very well on Guild Wars 1. We will do even better on Guild Wars 2 for sure. We believe that if you make an amazing game and you make it approachable, you make it a game that people can get into, and I view monthly fees as something that helps limit how approachable a game is. If you make an amazing game and make it approachable, you will make a profit on it and that game will do fantastic. And that's exactly what we're doing with Guild Wars 2. So we have supreme confidence that we will do just fine on the game. And most importantly, our fans will be happy because they've got a game that they can play and they can keep playing forever and they don't have to pay for it or get nickel and dimed.
Thank you very much, and best of luck with the beta, which will hopefully come soon.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew.
Thank you. Yeah. Stay tuned to GeForce UK for more from the EuroGamer Expo here at Earl's Court in London.